Hey you guys, this is for all the AgencyPro subscribers out there. I want to add another screen to the onboarding. So you know that my goal is to have it so this pretty much runs itself, right? So you get a new client. It doesn't matter if it's a SaaS client or if it's one of your, higher plans, your higher dollar plans where you guys actually have to do a little bit of posting. I want as much of that done for you as possible. So you don't ever have to jump into workspaces and do any work. So one of the ways I want to do that is to add one more thing that we can automate, and that is blog RSS feeds. So everybody who has Socialmonials should have their blog connected to it. I didn't for a while. I recently connected it and it's so nice. And it was because my SEO person told me I really need to do that in order to get it out there and to have my blog posts rank. So I took a few minutes, got it connected, but it's just something I didn't really take the time to do. So what I want to do is make sure that your clients don't fall into that trap either. Let's get it done right up front and let's add a screen. You're looking at it right now. I want to add a screen right after the one where they connect their watermark. So once they get the watermark set up for their images, let's get that blog post connected. What this is going to do is, not only promote their blog for them, which is fantastic, but it's just more automated posts that you don't have to do. It's also going to make the software more sticky. They're going to be less likely to cancel down the road when they realize that, now I'm going to have to manually go out to all of these different social networks and promote my blog. It's just one more thing you're doing for them that they're going to have to walk away from if they cancel. So I really like this. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it because there are some options that I want to run through. First of all, the way this is going to work is that we're already asking for their main domain. Like, what is the URL of your website is basically what we ask them when they first sign up. So when they sign up and they tell us their website address, what we're going to be doing behind the scenes is using backend scripting to go out and find what their blog URL is. There are ways of doing this. We're going to be scraping their page, parsing it, trying to figure out what their main blog post URL is. If we succeed, and this is just like we do with the watermark, we're going out there in the back end, we're trying to find out what their logo is, and then we recommend it to them, which they can either replace or confirm. We're going to do the same thing with their blog. So if we find something that looks promising, we are going to say, is this your blog? When you add blog posts, we'll share them to your social feeds. Please confirm or change your blog link below. And we're actually going to plug in the blog URL that we find based on our scraping and backend processes. That way, all they need to do is click, connect blog. They can also skip if they prefer, but if they click connect blog, that's it. They jump onto the next screen, which is the intake form, and they're done. They never need to worry about this. Now, if we do not find a blog, here's what they're going to see. It says, do you have a blog? When you add blog posts, we'll share them to your social feeds. Please enter your blog link below, and it's just going to give them some guidance text here to make sure to include the HTTPS and all of that good stuff. Then they'll be able to connect it. That way, if there's no links on their website to their blog, if they're really hiding it well, they'll still be able to add it here or skip it. Now, let me show you what happens when they click connect blog. Here's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is go and validate. If there's a problem, we aren't going to tell them here. We don't want to derail their onboarding process. We are going to take care of it in the back end, and we're going to notify either them or you, and you will be able to decide who gets notified over here when you're setting up your pricing plan. Remember, some of you are hybrid, some of you have SaaS plans and full service plans. So it depends on which kind of plan you're editing here. So if you have a pricing plan that's your senior social media manager plan, your top plan, you might say, okay, onboarding screens, we're going to have another checkbox right here for ask them for their blog. One of the sub options here is going to be, who do we notify if the blog has an error? Like if we can't pull in any posts. You'll be able to choose whether the client gets an email notification or whether you do. If it's a full service, you should get the notification. You should jump in, go to the RSS tab, and find out what's wrong. Try to troubleshoot it on their behalf. Otherwise, it's going to go to them. Because if you have a SaaS plan, it should really go to them. This is kind of their issue. We'll give them some description within the email and let them handle it. And of course, the email will be using your custom email domain. So let's jump over here. Now, what kind of an RSS feed are we going to set up? First of all, it's going to show right here. So even though it's a brand new workspace that we're creating for them, there's going to be an RSS feed showing. And here's how we're going to assemble that information. We are going to grab their company name from the sign up form, and then we're just going to write the word blog after it. So it'll say, Acme blog for the RSS feed name. That's what you'll see here. For the feed URL, we're going to include the URL that they connected. Remember, they confirmed this. So that's what will go here. We're going to leave link title and description by default because 99% of the time, this is what you guys use. Of course, they'll be able to go in and edit it because it's going to be just another RSS feed here that they can add to later. They can also edit it later. We're not going to append any text by default. We're going to leave the default where it's going to pull in literally their first post. So let me know if you guys want to pull in more. It might be kind of cool to bring in like 3, 4, maybe even 5 posts. So right there when they're dropped into their workspace, they already have a few posts in the queue promoting their previous blog posts. And of course, it will go to the queue. And we'll leave 10 at a time. I believe you should leave this, no matter how high volume their blog is. Just pull in, no more than 10 at a time. That seems to work really well. It's going to have their default social profiles selected, and it's going to have the category blog post, which is one of the default default categories. And it's going to have do not repost. We're not going to add a call to action by default because we want the call to action to be to go read their blog post. So you don't want to add something like go visit our website. Otherwise, you're telling them, hey, go look at our blog post and go look at our website. It's just confusing. Now, as far as holding, that's a big question I have for you guys. If they fill out the intake form and they say they want posts held, then yeah, of course, it's going to hold. If they go through the intake form and they do not say they want posts held, they just want it to be sent, that's what will happen. But one question I have is, what if you guys have the intake form turned off? So it's not even asking them that question. We can either add a do you want to hold these for your approval before they go out. We can add that to this screen below here, right above the skip button. Or we can by default just have it go out. And that way, if it connects properly and we're getting a proper XML document, so everything looks good and it pulls in a properly formatted post, should we just start sending it? Or do you guys want to have it held by default and they have to manually go in and change it if they no longer want to hold it by default? I'd love to hear your feedback. Just remember the 3 options are, number 1, we can ask them. Number 2, we can default to holding by default. And number 3 is we can default to just send it. And they would have to go in and edit the RSS feed if they want to hold those by default. So those are the 3 options there. I would love to hear your feedback. Please let me know in the comments. And as always, appreciate you guys. And if you're an AgencyPro subscriber, if you have any other ideas, always reach out to us in the AgencyPro subscriber Facebook account or Facebook group. Talk to you guys later.